Hi guys and girls, Friction RC here. Back off my holidays. Had a wicked time when I took the Slash with me. Uh, it's now in hibernation because it needs a bit of a clean up. I washed it out before I came, just like hosed it down with some cold water over there in Sri Lanka, but it needs a complete rebuild. I've never rebuilt it, I've only just updated it and updated parts as and when I crash it. But it's been working fine all this time. But as you can see, it really needs a good rebuild from the start. All this sort of stuff, this kind of rust, is because I washed it in Sri Lanka. It's an easy fix. Can you see all over the spot? That's partly because I just washed it. I didn't have an air hose. There's nothing like that over there for me to use. I could have dried it out, but I just air dried it. It's very humid over there, and the water, unlike in the UK, is soft water. They have lots of clay and stuff over there. It's very soft, unlike the hard water we get here in the UK and where I'm from in London. So yeah, it's an excuse. I mean, as you can see, you've still got a little bit of dirt and sand here and there, but it's going to be having a full tear down. It's going to take a bit of time, but I'm more than happy to do that. It just means I'm without this for the time being. Had no issues with it. In fact, when I brought it back, I plugged in the ESC, the motor, just to check everything worked fine. It works perfectly. There was no problems with the electronics whatsoever. So yeah. What I might also do is, now all this time I've been mudding this body with, as you can see, it's very, very poor quality body that I've painted. Yeah, I might take off this plastic film and start. I've got some stickers that came with this, so I might sticker it up a bit. But anyway, in the meantime, whilst this is going to be put away into hibernation and tore down and completely rebuilt, I've got another toy to play with. I've got myself a Traxxas Rally 4x4. So yeah, let's have a look at that. And here it is. I got this, like nearly all the other RC stuff that I own, secondhand. I've got a sweet deal in it. I've got this body, the Ford Fiesta ST body. But I also got, the guy I got it off also chucked in the Ford, what's that? Ford pickup truck they've got. F-150, that's it. A Ford F-150 body, and he chucked in a load of tyres as well. So I've got this set, but I've got another set as well. As you can see, I think this dude has raced it in some form or whatever, or he's just stuck stickers all over it because it's got the British Remote Control Association stickers on it. Body itself, even like the other body that I got, is a bit well worn. There's a dip here, which is around here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's turn it around. There you go. Where it's obviously landed on its roof, and as is usually the case with some of these bodies, there's a bit of tears and breaks. If I pull this off, you'll see what I mean. But before I do, one thing I wasn't quite happy about was that it sat so low. So I've actually driven this once when I first got it, just to check it out. And I'm used to using my Slash on off-road. So as well as tarmac on outside, it's kind of on grass, on gravel, etc., etc. So it has a high ground clearance. I've raised the chassis, raised the suspension as best as I can. So having this car, which is brilliant, four-wheel drive, really fast, it always rubs. So yeah, I can get new body posts, but off the bat, I was like, what the? So let me just take that off, and if I just, for the time being, just show you guys what I mean. Can you see there's cracks here and here? There's a few more on the corners, and that kind of happens. I admit that. I mean, even my ones are like that. But he's where I guess there's been body rubbing and the paint it comes with, it kind of started to peel, kind of rub off. I think he's gone around with a black felt marker and tried to colour it in, which isn't a problem because of the way this body is painted from the factory. It kind of blends in, so you don't notice until you lift it. Now, this is going to be an easy fix. I've got some drywall tape. I'm just going to get some shoe glue at some point or something similar and just paste it all over it and strengthen it. I'm going to do the same for my other bodies as well. But that's that. And now the car itself. So it was well used, shall we say. I mean, I went to the beach and I didn't have this much debris and dust and rubbish in the chassis. I was quite surprised when I tipped out how much stuff fell out. Didn't come with the ESC. This is something I pulled off actually my Rustler. And then I put it in the slash when I went on holiday. And now it's in here. I do have another one of these. I just need to find out where it is. I don't know what the gearings are on these things stock. All I've done is just open up this case, which is where the spur and the pinion gear is. All I've done is check that. This is, what is this? This is an Abysma. Oh, no, hold on. Abysma, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Thrust Abysma. These names of these companies, man, do my head in. But anyway, it's one of those. It seems to be really quick. The first time I took it out, it was brilliant. Worked with this ESC. I put a 3S LiPo, but I'm using one of these adapters that I got online from Amazon, quite cheap, because a lot of my LiPo batteries have this kind of connection. Whereas I guess being a Traxxas ESC, it's got this kind of setup. So yeah, it's bloody quick. Yeah, the other thing that I had to do was using Velcro stuff down, because when I got it, I couldn't. Well, one thing is I stripped it and put my own sort of remote in there anyway, but I couldn't find the part to put stuff down to. Like there should be a plate where it sits on and things. So I just put, for the time being, a bit of Velcro and super glue, and that way I can take stuff out as and when I want. But my word, this thing is dirty. Dirty is in, not in a good way. Dirty is in like, yeah, it needs a real clean up. But for the time being, I'm going to use it as is. And run it outside. One of the things I noticed though is the front two tires, I can't get these off, and that's beginning to annoy me slightly. Because I've got some like road tires, I won't call them slicks, but they're grooved in such a way. If I find one, there we go, bear with me, here we go. So I've got a set of these. Now they're not perfect, but you know, the whole point of me having loads of tires is that I can chop and change as I feel in the mood. But I can't get these nuts off the front too, and it's really irking me because it looks odd when I put these on the back and those on the front. I don't have any blow torches to heat stuff up. I've tried it with pliers. I really don't want to damage it, so probably for the time being I'm going to leave it as is. I've seen a video online, someone else has used some kind of vise. It looks like a pair of pliers, but it's got like a tip that's almost like a vise, and they've used that to catch it in place and then twist it and undo it. I think it's because the wheel nuts have that kind of groove to them on the other side, and that kind of has locked it in place. Either that, the dudes use some kind of bead lock or whatever, some glue or whatever, and it's just, oh, it's such a mission to get off. I don't want to break this, because if I break this as well, I'll have two motors out of action, and I'll be stuck with like my drift car. I do have a crawler, but that's going to be rebuilt because that really is pants. It really needs to. Steering angle is poor. You know, the motor is rubbish. So I've got enough stuff to put into there. But yeah, so this is my rally 4x4 rally. I'm probably going to keep this as is and just use this on road as opposed to using it off road, although it's a 4x4 setup. The only thing I'm worried about is it's kind of limited in body shells because I haven't really seen anyone put anything else other than like a Ford ST body or maybe those Ford 150 truck bodies on there. And what I really want to do is put some other bodies like Volkswagen Beetles or maybe a short course truck or whatever. But anyway, so this is it for the time being. I have, as I said when I first got it, taken it out for a bit of a spin. But when I came back off holiday, I thought, well, I was itching to go out and do a bit of RCing, so I did, and I used this little blighter. So enjoy the very, very short clip of me sort of just going down a little road with some pebbles close by to where I live.